This episode of WW Today is brought to you by All Star Vacation Homes. You know, you've heard us many times rave about All Star Vacation Homes, but I don't think we've ever mentioned that they have over 250 homes and condo rentals in close proximity to Walt Disney World. And by the way, right now, if you reserve any of their vacation homes for 7 nights or more, you'll receive a free rental car or $100 worth of gas or grocery gift cards. That's right. For details on this offer, as well as more information on All-Star Vacation Homes, visit their website at allstarvacationhomes.com, where hospitality has a new home.
This is Walt Disney World Today. Give us 5 minutes and we'll give you the world.
It's Friday, September 24th, and this is episode 777 of WDW Today. I'm your host,
Jack Fott. Sorry, go ahead.
It's going to be an interesting show. I'm your host, Mike Scopa from allears.net, and on the show today, getting a well-deserved rest from his hosting duties, all the way from studioscentral.com, is Matt Hochberg. And Matt, you're in a different chair tonight.
Yeah, I'm riding right bench.
Right bench.
It's nice, though. I'm enjoying the view.
Reserve right fielder. Also on the show today from Mouse World Radio is Mike Newell. And Mr. Newell,
yes,
I need to say thank you for not mentioning a certain football game that took place last weekend. And I owe you, man. I owe you.
What football game?
That's what I mean. I love you.
He's a gentleman.
Also on the show tonight, as you just heard, still recovering. Excuse me.
Who's recovering? Recovering from what?
Still recovering from jet lag from his trip across the pond. His co-author of the unofficial guide to Walt Disney World and touringplans.com. None other than Len Taster. And Len, I hope you remember that when you got back here in the States that we drive on the right side of the road. Did you remember?
I did actually. I almost killed myself though 3 times though walking in London because I was automatically looking right when I was crossing the street and I should have been looking left. And I literally stepped off one time and somebody beat them like, yeah, I should be dead right about now. Did it 3 times. I think once in 3 different cities. It's hysterical.
And you heard a faint sound, almost like Fred Hazelton's voice saying, "Damn it!
Oh, it's so close." Yeah. After a while, I just started looking both ways before I crossed the street, which I think somebody gave me that advice one time a long time ago. But
England will never be the same.
I know.
But we have 2 guests with us tonight. Our first guest is Michelle Scribner McLean, who's a senior feature writer for allears.net and co-captain, along with yours truly, of Team All Ears. Welcome to the show, Michelle.
Hello, lads.
Lads.
And also joining us on this special show is a friend of the podcast and fellow runner, Laurel Stewart. Laurel?
Thanks for inviting me. Thank you.
Now, all the listeners are saying, okay, why is Scoper, why is he hosting? Well, tonight's a special show, and in just over a week, Walt Disney World will be holding its inaugural Wine and Dine Half Marathon, and Laurel and Michelle and Len and I are going to be running, and we thought it would be good to come on the show and talk about it because there's something very different about the Wine and Dine Half Marathon. It's the first half marathon that Walt Disney is sponsoring at night, and the start time is 10 o'clock, and it offers some interesting challenges for all of us. So we know that there are some listeners out there who will be participating, and we thought we'd share our thoughts with everybody. And before we can begin, I'd like to turn this a little bit over to Matt and Mike, who are Disney experts, but not necessarily running experts. And I'm just wondering, Matt and Mike, when you take a look at this and from what you've seen, you've seen people on the sidelines, running half marathons and whatever, what do you think would be the challenges that the 4 of us are looking at with this 10 o'clock start?
Besides being in the dark?
Yeah. Yeah. Can you think of what, I think that Laurel and Michelle and I already have things in our heads, but, I'd like to ask you guys, what would you be thinking with this kind of a race? How would you prepare, all kinds of things? Because it may be something that we as runners, we're so obsessed with running, we may not see certain things. So I'm just curious as to what your observations would be for this.
Well, besides the fact that you're crazy for doing it in the first place.
Yeah.
That's a good question. I don't, as a non-runner, I don't know what comes to your mind, Mike.
My biggest concern, I think, would be, how do you run in such darkness?
Well, with the
I'm wearing a big miner's headlamp. I don't know about you guys.
well, I know that.
What?
That's
No?
where I'm heading. Is the obviously the whole track, or so to speak, or the whole marathon route is not lighted, right?
No, some of it is. They've got the street lamps, and then the start and the finish are really well lighted. Yeah, but there are times when it's just gonna be dark.
I just got to think that day of is gonna stink for you guys because it's not like what are you gonna do?
Yeah, you can't
Sleep in.
Yeah, sleep exactly.
Yeah, easier said than done at Disney World.
The thing I think that you have to remember about the running in the dark is that for the January races, we actually run in the dark for about an hour and a half of the time. The race starts at 6 a.m, so we're in the dark and in the cold. It depends on how many minutes per mile you do, but some of us, when we're getting out of the Magic Kingdom is when the sun is coming up, and so. For that, if you've run Disney before in the January races, you'll be used to that. But this will be a little different because we're going to be going into Animal Kingdom, and where the pavement's very rocky, and I think it's going to be a little more treacherous.
Yeah, I've done. I don't know, Laurel. Have you ever done the Race for the Taste?
I have not. No.
The course that we have for the Wine and Dine is it's a combination of the Race for the Taste, sort of the Disney's Full Marathon and what they used to call the Race for the Cure. And in those races, they all started at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock in the morning. And so while running through the Animal Kingdom, it wasn't too bad, but running at night, through the Animal Kingdom is what I'm concerned about because the footing over there is not that great, to run. And I think
that's right. Yeah.
So I'm really curious about that. I think that I know that Laurel and Len ran the first 13 Tower Terror 13.
Yeah.
That wasn't too bad, except going through where the mud was and to the World of Sports. But for the most part, when you're on the highway, it's not too bad. It's going to be in the Magic Kingdom that I'm concerned. And the other thing I'm concerned about is the quick turns. I'm not the Magic Kingdom, the Animal Kingdom. I'm sorry.
I was saying, oh my God, how far are we running?
And then the quick kind of turns that we have to negotiate in the studios. That's going to be a concern of mine. I want to go by everyone and ask how you're going to approach this race because, again, it's not a 6 a.m. start. It's a 10 p.m. start. So I'm going to start off with Laurel. I'm going to ask you to comment on four things. How does the 10 o'clock start affect this week of your training? How will it affect how you're going to eat a day or two before the race? And how it's going to affect how you're going to rest before the race and what you're going to do the last 24 hours before the race? Just wondering how this start time changes what your normal plans are for a race.
Well, this is my third nighttime race with Disney, so luckily I've done it before and I already kind of know what to expect. Like I said, I'm going to sleep in definitely on Saturday. I think I'm going to Mickey's Not So Scary on Friday night, and we'll buy a lot of we'll trick or treat a lot of candy, so I'll have plenty of sugar in my system on Saturday. As far as my training goes, I've been told in the past that I have a somewhat casual approach towards marathon training.
Yeah, wonderful. I wonder if
you should totally start training just like me, like 2 weeks before the race. You should really just make sure that you can find your shoes. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm doing my runs in the evening instead of earlier in the day right now, so that's good. And basically, I will just take it easy. I'm getting down to Orlando on Wednesday night, so I will have plenty of time to acclimate and get used to the time.
The altitude.
Yeah, well, in the time zone. The time zone is a killer coming from Seattle.
Yeah, that's right. 3 hours.
Yeah.
Wow. When will your last meal be, Laurel?
On a bed, hopefully, when she's an old lady.
Yeah.
Her family surrounding her.
Yeah.
I would
Just
like the
make me-
lobster, please.
Exactly. Of 2 triple cheeseburgers and a diet.
Yeah. Well, probably maybe around 4:00, but that won't be a meal. That'll be a heavy snack. I definitely won't be eating very much during the day and probably won't be doing a lot of food and wine during the day. I probably won't even go to Epcot that day.
Okay, one last question before I move over to Michelle. And
Yes.
what's your biggest concern about the race?
My biggest concern about the race is the course. Just looking at it, it starts out at Wide World of Sports and then goes along Osceola to Animal Kingdom and back. And that's the first 8 miles. And that stretch on Osceola Parkway is the most boring
Yeah.
stretch ever. It's the part on the full marathon where you just want to kill yourself.
That's where
The
you left
race-
me to die.
You lived.
Okay.
That's where, isn't that where Mary Jo saved Len's life?
Well, that's where Laura left me to die, and Mary Jo found me.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. I'm totally not gonna have flashbacks about that either.
But we're going in the opposite direction.
Oh, so yeah, totally different this time. I've got nothing to worry about.
Exactly.
All right, let's move on to Michelle. Michelle, I'd like you to comment on the training, eating, resting, how you're preparing for this 10:00 start, and also your main, if you have any concerns about this race. So take it away, Michelle.
Well, I wasn't really planning on running this race and put myself on the wait list. And in the meantime, decided to run another half marathon this Saturday. So
Oh, nice.
running one on Saturday, and I haven't, to prepare for that one, I haven't done much this week. I'm just really trying to take it easy and not do much. My other issue, which should be really interesting, is I have an injury that I'm dealing with. I'm going to physical therapy. So I'm trying to rest to make sure that I'm okay in between those 2 races, and curious to see what's going to happen after the first half marathon this week. It'll kind of tell me what I need to do for next week.
Michelle, why don't you share with everyone? I know what your injury is. Why don't you share it with everyone? Because I'm sure that there are some runners out there who may or may not realize they have this type of injury. I think it would be good for you to share with everybody.
Broken pinky.
No, in fact, my physical therapist today told me I was boring because a lot of people they see have this exact same injury, and it's always runners. I have an IT band issue. It's a band of kind of, it's not really muscle, but it runs from your hip to right down your leg below your knee, and it's a structural thing that holds your kneecap in place, and my kneecap is tracking off to the side, so I have every time I run. So I'm taped up in lots of fluorescent designer colors, and so I've been doing a lot of strength training and things like that, but it's very, very common with runners. And the strategy that I'm using is, and I ran 10 miles the other day, is to keep my speed down when it gets sore, and then I do a little of Galloway running. So I'll run for 4 minutes and walk for 1 minute. So I'm not trying to beat any personal records, especially with a nighttime race. I'm just gonna get through it and think about the wine at the end. That'll help me get
Exactly.
But so in terms of rest, I'm also gonna take it easy. I'll be sitting near the pool the day of and trying to take it easy, and not doing a whole bunch. But the eating, I think, is going to be interesting because I do run in the early morning, and I found that the way that I train is I can't have anything in my stomach. So I'm not going to make it till 10 o'clock and running a race with nothing in my stomach. So I'm probably going to have a very big breakfast and then have small snacks during the day. And I'll have, gel shots available if I need them during the race. And
Jello shots? What?
I'm getting them from you. Aren't you bringing them?
Yeah, okay, I was just making sure.
Yeah, the goo stuff,
Yeah.
which I hate, but it does help. So I'll have those, and then again I'll be thinking about all the wonderful food that'll be there at the end.
So Michelle, so it sounds like your concern would probably be your injury, and you want to make sure that you don't make it worse. Is that true?
I'm not. Yeah, I'm really going to try to take it easy. But my biggest concern is Animal Kingdom because I know you and I have walked around Animal Kingdom many times and talked about running there. And when you take a good look at the pavement, one wrong step and you can get a twisted ankle. And that pavement and nighttime, I think, are maybe it could be really, really tricky. So I'm just going to go really slow through that park. That's my biggest worry.
Yeah, I think because of the course and because of the time, it may be stretching it to ask everyone to think about getting a PR. I'm not sure how that's going to happen, especially in the Animal Kingdom, and also running along the boardwalk path to Epcot. So it's going to be interesting to see if people change their style of running. Glenn, you want to chime in on how you're approaching this week, training, eating, resting, and preparing for this thing, and any issues you might have?
So I'm running every other day now. I'm in fact, when we're done recording this, I've got an 8-mile run to do. I've been running pretty consistently. I had a cold a couple of weeks ago, kind of set back my cardio a little bit, but I think I'm peaking about the right time. The thing that worries me the most is the heat. So I've been running when I've been running, it's been in the early morning with the temperature in the sort of in mid 50s to mid 60s. And it's going to be 10 or 20 degrees warmer than that when we run even at night in Florida. It's going to be, I think the low's going to be around 75. Hopefully it doesn't rain because heat and humidity is just not going to be good there.
Are you worried about that because of the marathon and because you got into trouble with dehydration?
Yeah, and I actually have a water bottle belt that I'm bringing with me just in case.
I am too.
But I just don't like running in heat. I don't run well in heat. I don't like it. So that's the one thing I'm worried about. I'm not really worried about the whole running in the dark thing. I'm not even overly concerned with meals because I don't ever eat a big enough meal at any given time to feel bloated or anything. So I'll be okay with that. Really for me, it's just, getting to the starting line, working at transportation options and stuff like that. I'm actually changing hotels every night on this trip because I'm trying to fit in some guide research. So I'm checking in and out of places all the time and stuff like that. That's just gonna be a pain. So
what are you gonna do the day before Friday? Well, I know you're gonna be with me Friday, and what are you gonna do Friday night and Saturday morning? Are you gonna be taking it easy? You're gonna be off your feet? What are you gonna be doing?
Friday night, I'm doing Not So Scary Halloween Party at the Magic Kingdom. Saturday, not sure. Probably might go to Epcot just to go to Epcot. I might try Via Napoli and the new Hacienda's open. It's soft open, so I might try those two things, but just little snacky things. Sunday, I joked about it. I may legitimately go to a spa and get a massage on Sunday.
On Sunday,
yeah.
Gee, Mr. Tester, I don't understand. Your muscles are like tight.
I know, exactly. And then I don't leave till Monday, late Monday, so I got tons of time.
One of the interesting questions I got this week from someone who's running this was wanted to know where the real bathrooms are going to be. I remember telling everyone how when you're running the half or the full, that there's 2 bathroom stops that a lot of people take advantage of. One is at the TTC, and the other one's in Tomorrowland. And since we won't be going to the TTC, we won't be going to Tomorrowland, everyone's wondering, well, where are the real bathrooms going to be? And the only thing I can think of is as you run into the Animal Kingdom, there would be some on the left. And then after that, I'm not sure. Maybe somewhere in
studios.
In the studios at Crossroads at the front of the studios theme park. I don't know, but
I think there's going to be another option in the Animal Kingdom on the path going towards Everest. Where the ice cream truck is. Those should probably be open.
And that path, Laurel, is going to be one of those areas that the footing's not going to be the greatest, So
yeah.
It's going to be dark. Yeah.
I'm hoping that there'll be auxiliary lighting in there. And if we do go counterclockwise around World Showcase to finish off the race, there's something that I recall doing Race for the Taste a couple of times, and that is when you're running past China and you're heading towards Mexico. When you get past Nine Dragons, there's kind of a drop in the pavement, so you got to be careful there. So those are some concerns I have.
Do we actually go through World Showcase though?
I'm not sure. I can't tell from the.
I thought
From the
we
course
I thought we
doing
did. It's a different course than It's a different
It
course
looks
than.
like- It looks like it finishes right after the International Gateway.
So we go through. Maybe we go past. Maybe we don't go counterclockwise. Maybe we go by Canada.
Okay.
Is that what you're saying, Laurel?
Yeah, because Mile 13 is still at the boardwalk.
Oh, okay. Well, that's better then, because that
Yes.
side of World Showcase is much better, especially at night. So maybe they don't want to have that area open.
Oh, plus that's where the party's going to be. They don't want us running through where they're setting up with the kiosks and.
Yeah, they're
Doing all
yeah.
that.
We're gonna finish in World Showcase. We're not going anywhere near Future World. It looks like.
It's going to be a limited party too. It's
Oh really? How much of it's gonna be open? I thought all of it's gonna be open.
I thought they said that there will be limited pavilions. There'll be a limited number of pavilions open. I thought.
I'm good with the pavilions.
actually,
alcohol and food.
It said in the guide that they sent us that 29 pavilions will be open, or 29 the little
Oh,
carts.
that's good enough.
Yeah.
Oh, we bring money too, right?
Yep.
Oh,
I think what's included is only one voucher for one drink and one snack. So if you want
please.
anything else.
I mean, so here's the thing. I run 13 miles. Am I going to want to loop all of World Showcase?
Yeah, what the heck? It's a warm down. You'd be throwing back Zinfandel, like it's Gatorade, right?
Think of it as a cool down. Think of it
Exactly. I think it'll be fine. Oh, and it's a relay too. I forgot about that. It's a relay. Do you know I've been doing relays?
I'm not
No.
doing. No.
Yeah.
It's sold out, so somebody's doing it.
I guess a few people are. Yeah. Now the on the course map with the W symbol, right? Those are the white wine, right? Where's the reds or the rosés? All right, cool. So if any of our listeners are there, this is my vow right now. I will bring enough money so that if any of our listeners find us, I will buy you all a drink.
That will be interesting.
I'm not saying I'm drinking with you every time, but we'll see.
That means,
You could just get one of those little wrist things and pump
Exactly.
it up
Load
with
it up.
money.
Load it
Matt,
up.
we should so run, and then we can mug Len.
That's it. I'm going to be going through that sort of dark part of the animal kingdom, and just my shoes fall off as I get dragged off into the side.
He just admitted, I'm going to be carrying all this money with me.
Yeah, exactly. I'll be carrying lots of cash, small and marked bills. Anyway,
So Matt and Mike, can you think of? I mean, is there anything that you guys want to make a comment on or regarding this?
Yeah, when we do the Star Tour show, are you guys going to be so interested in that?
Ooh, as you are interested in this?
Right.
Star Tours hasn't. It's coming back. Really? I didn't hear that.
I thought
The
they
Star
were
Tours
closing
marathon.
that. I thought they were closing that.
Yeah.
Star Tours Marathon? Wow.
The race to Endor.
Exactly.
Well, everything that I'm hearing from people, I mean, people online, it seems that people are more interested with the after thing, the event, than the actual race itself. It's kind of interesting. It's like the marathon has always got a lot of hype about it because it's the marathon. But this is like, well, the race is fun, but I'm really looking forward to the after party and having that kind of unfettered access there at Epcot. So I think that's really going to be the interesting thing about this whole event.
Yeah, that'll be the most.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how that runs. I don't know how many people realize this, but Ken Potrock, who is the senior vice president of Disney Sports Attractions, will be running this race with his wife. So Ken is training, and if you see Ken on the course, say hi to him. I guess that's it. I want to say, Laurel, good luck. Maybe we'll see you
Thank you.
next week. And Len, I know I'll see you, and Michelle, I'll see you probably too. And I have a half marathon coming up this Saturday too, so I'll be running two half marathons in a week, and it's going to be interesting. I'll say that.
Good luck.
Yep. Okay. Well, that's it for the show today. And once again, today's show was brought to you by the All-Star Vacation Homes. And if you're planning to run a Walt Disney race, and especially a half or a full marathon, and you want a great place to stay and rest up a day or two before the big race, might as well consider an All-Star Vacation Home. They're located close enough to Walt Disney World to make for a short hop to the start of the race. And the thing is that think of the nice quiet time you'll have before race day and after the big race when you need it the most. So check them out at allstarvacationhomes.com, where hospitality has a new home. And you can listen to former episodes. You can check out our show notes. And you can send us email by going over to www.today.com. So for Matt Hochberg, Mike Newell, Len Tessa, Michelle Scribner-McLean, and Wallace Stewart, this is Mike Scoper, and we'll see you next time.
Stupid Judy, stupid energy.
This has been a production of Mouse World Radio.